Goals are essential. They give direction, clarity, and focus. But goals alone are not enough. A goal without purpose is like a sail without wind. It looks impressive, but it won't move the ship. Purpose is what gives power to your goals. It's the why behind the what. And when the why is strong, the how becomes easy. Many people set goals every year. They write them down, talk about them, even make vision boards. But somewhere along the way, they lose momentum. Why? Because they never discovered the reason behind their ambition. They focused on what they wanted, but not why they wanted it. Purpose breathes life into goals. It turns a wish into a mission, a plan into a passion. Purpose gives you energy when you're tired, courage when you're afraid, and persistence when progress feels slow. When your purpose is clear, you can face obstacles that would stop ordinary people. Because you're no longer chasing comfort, you're chasing meaning. Think about it. When you have a strong enough reason, you'll wake up early, stay up late, learn new things, and keep going even when it's hard. Purpose transforms discipline into desire. It makes the process as fulfilling as the outcome. So before you set your next goal, take a step back and ask yourself, why does this matter to me? Because if the purpose isn't strong enough, the goal won't survive the pressure. But if the purpose is powerful, no challenge can stop you. Purpose gives goals a pulse. It turns routine into reward and effort into excellence. When you live on purpose, your goals become more than achievements. They become expressions of who you are meant to be. Setting goals is easy. Anyone can do it. You can sit down with a pen and paper, write out 10 things you want to achieve this year, and feel like you've accomplished something already. But here's the truth. The act of writing goals is the simplest part of success. The real challenge isn't in setting goals. It's in sticking to them. And that's where most people fall short. Why? Because their goals don't have roots. They have a list, but not a reason. They have ambition, but no anchor. A goal without purpose is like a car without fuel. It might look beautiful on the outside, polished, shining, full of promise, but it won't take you anywhere. It might inspire excitement for a day or two, but when the road gets steep and the journey gets tough, that excitement fades away. What remains is the grind, and if there's no deep reason behind what you're chasing, that grind will feel meaningless. Think about the goals that die early, the gym memberships that expire unused, the books left half-read, the plans abandoned after the first setback. It's not that people didn't want those things, they did. But wanting something isn't enough. Understanding why you want it is what makes it last. Purpose is the emotional core of every meaningful goal. It's the reason that turns a dream into a commitment. When your purpose is clear, your energy becomes focused. When your purpose is strong, your willpower multiplies. A person who sets a goal just because it sounds good or everyone else is doing it will always lose to the person whose goal comes from deep within. The one who's driven by a cause, a conviction, a burning need to change something in their life. That person doesn't need motivation every morning. Their purpose wakes them up. Let's take an example. Imagine two people setting a goal to get fit. One says, I want to lose 10 pounds because it'd be nice to look better. The other says, I want to get fit so I can play football with my kids without running out of breath, so I can live long enough to see them grow and set an example of health and discipline for them. Who do you think will stay consistent? The second person, because their goal is powered by purpose. It's not about appearance, it's about meaning. Purpose gives your goals a story, and stories give goals strength. When you know why you're doing something, it stops feeling like work and starts feeling like destiny. You no longer ask, do I have to? Instead, you say, I get to. That small shift changes everything. Purpose is what makes sacrifice bearable. It's what turns pain into progress and delay into development. Without it, every setback feels like failure. With it, every setback becomes training. If your goals have been slipping through your fingers, don't start by changing the goal. Start by discovering the purpose behind it. Ask yourself, why do I want this? Who will benefit if I achieve it? Who will suffer if I don't? What value does this bring to my life and to others? Your answers will either strengthen your resolve or reveal that the goal never truly mattered to you. Both outcomes are valuable, because a weak goal wastes time, but a strong purpose multiplies time. Remember this, the reason comes before the result. People who endure long nights, early mornings, and difficult seasons aren't stronger than others. They're simply clearer. They know what's at stake. They've tied their goals to something greater than comfort. Purpose gives endurance. It keeps you going when the applause stops, when the results are slow, and when no one is watching. It reminds you that your efforts mean something, even if progress isn't visible yet. So, before you set your next target, don't just ask, what do I want? Ask, why do I want it? Because goals without purpose are temporary, but goals with purpose are unstoppable. Purpose turns your vision into fuel, your actions into habits, and your dreams into destiny. In the end, the ones who finish the race aren't always the fastest or the strongest. They're the ones who have something worth finishing for. Motivation is a powerful force, but it's also a fragile one. It can lift you high one day and leave you empty the next. Most people depend on bursts of motivation, a video, a quote, a seminar, something to ignite them temporarily. But that kind of motivation fades fast because it comes from the outside. Real, lasting motivation doesn't come from what you see or hear. It comes from what you believe. And belief is born out of purpose. Purpose is the fuel that keeps the fire burning when the sparks of motivation die out. You see, inspiration can start the engine, but only purpose keeps it running. When your purpose is strong, you don't wait for motivation, you create it. You don't rely on mood, you rely on meaning. Think about it this way: if you have a strong enough reason, you'll find a way to keep going no matter how tired or discouraged you feel. Purpose doesn't just lift your spirit, it strengthens your will. It whispers, this matters. Keep going. Let's take an example. Two people decide to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. The first says, I want to be productive. The second says, I want to build a better life for my family, to provide them with opportunities I never had. Guess who stays consistent after the first week? The second one. Why? Because their purpose fuels their motivation. Purpose transforms discipline from something you have to do into something you want to do. When you're connected to your purpose, every small action becomes meaningful. You no longer see effort as a burden. You see it as proof of your commitment. When you have a purpose, you don't need to constantly push yourself. Purpose pulls you. It gives you direction, clarity, and focus. You begin to understand that the real power of motivation isn't in the feeling, it's in the fuel. Motivation without purpose is like a balloon without air. It might look full for a moment, but it deflates quickly. Purpose is what fills it, not with temporary excitement, but with lasting drive. The problem for many people isn't that they lack motivation, it's that they lack meaning. They chase goals that don't resonate with their heart. They run after dreams that belong to someone else. And when they hit a wall, they quit. Not because they're weak, but because their purpose wasn't strong enough to pull them through. Purpose gives motivation its depth. It adds weight to your actions. It makes waking up early, staying late, studying harder, or practicing longer feel worthwhile. When your purpose is alive inside you, even routine work feels sacred. Here's the truth: external motivation can inspire you, but internal purpose transforms you. You can listen to the greatest speakers, read the most powerful books, and still lose momentum if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing. But once you discover your why, everything changes. Purpose gives you emotional energy. It keeps your spirit alive when your body feels exhausted. It reminds you that pain is temporary, but meaning is permanent. It turns setbacks into lessons and effort into expression. When purpose fuels your motivation, you stop asking for guarantees. You start giving your best. You don't need applause or validation. The satisfaction of living your purpose becomes reward enough. Every great achiever understands this truth: motivation fades, but purpose sustains. The athlete doesn't run for the medal alone. They run for what that medal means. The entrepreneur doesn't build for money alone. They build to create impact. The leader doesn't serve for power. They serve for contribution. Purpose is the invisible fire that never goes out. You may not always feel excited, but you'll always feel driven because you know your work has meaning. You know that your actions are connected to something greater than yourself. If you ever find your motivation slipping, don't chase more motivation. Revisit your purpose. Ask yourself, why did I start? Because the moment you reconnect with your reason, your energy returns. The body follows the heart, and the heart follows purpose. Purpose doesn't just fuel motivation. It transforms it into conviction. And conviction will take you farther than any motivational speech ever could. Because when you act from conviction, quitting isn't an option. So remember, don't seek motivation from the outside, build it from the inside. Let your purpose be your daily source of power. When your purpose is clear, your motivation becomes constant, not because every day is easy, but because every day is meaningful. Life has a way of testing every dream you set. The moment you declare a goal, challenges begin to appear. The path that looked smooth yesterday suddenly fills with detours, delays, and difficulties. That's not an accident. It's life's way of asking, how much do you really want it? Everyone faces obstacles. The difference between those who quit and those who conquer is simple: purpose. Purpose doesn't remove obstacles, it transforms them. It changes how you see them, how you respond to them, and how you grow through them. When you live with purpose, every obstacle becomes a lesson, every challenge becomes a teacher, and every setback becomes a setup for something greater. Most people see obstacles as roadblocks, something standing in their way. But purpose-driven people see them as stepping stones, something that helps them find a better way. The same stone that makes one person stumble can become another person's foundation. The difference isn't in the obstacle, it's in the outlook. You see, when your purpose is strong, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" That shift in mindset is what separates the average from the extraordinary. Obstacles have a strange power. They reveal what you truly believe in. If your reason for pursuing a goal is weak, the first difficulty will make you reconsider. But if your purpose is powerful, no obstacle can stop you. You may bend, but you won't break. You may slow down, but you won't stop. Let's take an example. Imagine two people start a small business. The first one's goal is to make quick money. The second one's purpose is to create something meaningful that helps people and builds a legacy. When the economy slows down, when sales drop, and when rejection comes, who's more likely to endure? The one with purpose. Because purpose gives pain a reason. Without purpose, pain feels like punishment. With purpose, pain feels like preparation. Purpose turns frustration into focus. It helps you see beyond the temporary struggle and focus on the long-term reward. You begin to understand that the obstacle isn't there to stop you. It's there to strengthen you. The muscle of perseverance only grows when it's challenged. Every great story of success is filled with obstacles. There's not a single great achiever who reached the top without stumbling, falling, and starting over. But the reason they rose again was because their purpose refused to let them stay down. When your purpose burns bright, failure becomes feedback. Rejection becomes redirection. Delay becomes development. Instead of seeing problems as reasons to quit, you start to see them as invitations to grow. Purpose gives you the power to stay calm when others panic. It reminds you that the storm doesn't last forever. And when it passes, you'll be stronger, wiser, and more capable than before. The obstacle that once seemed impossible becomes the very reason you rise to the next level. Remember this truth. The size of your obstacles is often equal to the size of your destiny. The bigger your purpose, the tougher the tests will be. That's not a punishment, that's preparation. A runner doesn't get faster by running on smooth ground. They get stronger by training on the hills. Likewise, you don't grow by avoiding challenges, you grow by climbing through them. And it's your purpose that gives you the strength to keep climbing. If you ever find yourself discouraged by setbacks, stop and reconnect with your purpose. Ask yourself, why did I start this journey? Because when you remember the why, the how becomes possible again. Obstacles lose their power when purpose stands firm. Purpose also gives meaning to patience. When you know what you're working for, waiting doesn't feel like wasting. It feels like preparing. The delay becomes part of the design. Every obstacle you overcome refines your character and deepens your resolve. One day, you'll look back and realize that the very challenges that once frustrated you became the foundation of your strength. The obstacle didn't stop you. It shaped you. It forced you to think smarter, work harder, and believe deeper. So the next time you face a mountain, don't curse the climb. Thank it. Because the climb is what makes you capable of reaching higher ground. Without the obstacle, you'd never discover the full power of your purpose. In the end, purpose doesn't just help you overcome obstacles. It transforms them into opportunities. It turns struggle into strength, pain into progress, and difficulty into destiny. Remember, this purpose doesn't promise an easy journey, but it guarantees a meaningful one. And that meaning is what gives you the endurance to turn every obstacle into a stepping stone toward your greater goal. There's something powerful about a person who lives with passion. You can see it in their eyes, hear it in their voice, and feel it in their actions. They move with a kind of energy that can't be faked. They don't drag themselves through the day. They charge into it. They're not driven by obligation. They're driven by purpose. Passion isn't something you can buy, borrow, or fake. It's something that rises from within, from a deep connection between your goals and your purpose. When your goals align with something meaningful, passion naturally ignites. It's not forced. It's not temporary. It's a fire that sustains itself. Most people struggle to stay passionate because their goals are shallow. They chase things that look good but don't feel right. They want recognition, applause, comfort, but not meaning. And when they get what they wanted, it doesn't satisfy them. Because passion doesn't come from what you get, it comes from what you give yourself to. Purpose is what gives your goals life. It's what turns routine into joy and work into worship. You can't fake enthusiasm for something you don't care about. But when your goal is rooted in purpose, when it connects to something bigger than yourself, you don't need anyone to remind you to stay excited. The energy flows naturally. Think about it, two people can be doing the same task, but one feels drained while the other feels alive. The difference isn't in the work, it's in the why. The one who knows why they're doing it feels passion, while the other feels pressure. Purpose transforms your perception. It turns effort into expression. Let's take a simple example. Imagine two teachers. One teaches because it's a job. The other teaches because they want to shape minds, inspire curiosity, and make a difference in the next generation. Same classroom, same lessons. But the second teacher radiates passion. Why? Because their goal is powered by purpose. That's how purpose works. It gives energy to everything you do. It adds meaning to every moment. It doesn't make the journey easier, but it makes it worth it. When your goals are backed by purpose, even hard work feels joyful. You start to enjoy the process, not just the result. Passion is the fuel that keeps your dream alive when progress is slow and results are unseen. It's the fire that burns through frustration and fatigue. But passion doesn't appear by magic. It's born when your goals and your purpose are perfectly aligned. When you're working towards something that matters deeply to you, passion becomes automatic. You don't have to force motivation. It grows from within. You can be tired, but you're never empty. You can face setbacks, but you never lose sight of your direction. That's the power of purpose-driven passion. Purpose also gives your passion endurance. Excitement fades, but passion lasts. Excitement is a spark, passion is a flame. Excitement gets you started, passion keeps you going. Excitement lives in your emotions, passion lives in your soul. Many people confuse passion with hype, with loud energy, enthusiasm, and bursts of inspiration. But true passion is quiet and consistent. It's the steady heartbeat behind everything you do. It's what keeps you working when no one's watching, improving when no one's applauding, and believing when no one's supporting. Purpose-driven goals create that kind of passion. They connect your daily actions with your deeper values. They remind you that what you do today matters beyond today, and that reminder fuels a kind of enthusiasm that can't be shaken by circumstance. When you live with purpose and pursue goals that matter, you bring energy to your environment. You inspire others not by what you say, but by how you live. People feel your conviction. They sense that you're not just chasing success. You're following significance. That's why it's so important to align your goals with your true calling. Don't just set goals that impress others. Set goals that ignite you. Because when you're passionate, you don't compete, you create. You don't follow trends, you follow truth. And in doing so, you not only achieve success, you attract it. If you ever feel your passion fading, go back to your purpose. Ask yourself, why does this matter to me? Because passion doesn't die from exhaustion. It dies from disconnection. When you reconnect to your purpose, the flame reignites. So remember, goals give direction, but purpose gives passion, and passion gives life to everything you do. When your goals come from purpose, you stop chasing success and start living significance. You stop working for rewards and start working from conviction. That's the moment your life shifts. When what you do isn't just what you have to do, but what you love to do. Because when purpose and goal unite, passion is born. And passion, once awakened, turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers.